This video is recorded at Fair Game. Fair Game is located in Downers Grove, Illinois. Please visit their website for more information, fairgamestore.com.
He had 2 TLTs and an RCast.
What is going on, guys? This is Ryan of the Brothers Dimm, bringing you guys some more in real life Destiny action. We are taking a look at round 3 right now. On the left, we have me, Ryan, playing Chopper Droids against Brothers Dimm compatriot Chris. He is playing Elite Jango, 1-die Executioner, 1-die Sentinel Messenger. So a little bit of spice on Chris's end. He's 2-0 as well. So we're going to take a look. Opening mole's already happened. Here's the roll-off. And Chris rolled a 3. I rolled a 4. So I get the choice of a battlefield here. So both of us are playing on feed. So let's see what happens. I believe I go with mine. I think I didn't see the opening hand. I see an easy pickings in there. Chris has a Desperate Measures, a LS1 cannon. So I'm going to play Droids Day Out, activate all 3 of my droids, draw a card. Since I activated 3 droids, look at those big tokens, they're just beautiful.
R2 trigger first.
Shout out to Sterling Good Designs on Etsy for those. They're amazing. They look great on stream. So R2 trigger, we're going to go to a 2 disrupt. And C3PO trigger looks like we're going to resolve the 2 disrupt. With a 1 disrupt and then C3PO trigger. So preventing Jango to have his money. I didn't want him to get like a pulse cannon down because those things just rip the droids. That was my thought process there. Instead of going straight aggro out of round 1, I just tried to kind of stop Chris. So he went with Sentinel Messenger, came in with a blank, did not like what he saw at the top. Feed power action, take a 3rd resource. Try to see what else Chris has. So Chris has automated defense. Here comes the Executioner. He rolls a resource. Looks like I've got an Ezra's in there. I think a Chewie's I saw.
Power action chopper.
So we have power action, chopper. Doesn't really do anything right now, but does get that card out of my hand. Chris is going to take the resource. Showing 4 melee right now.
Jango.
1, 2.
And it's going to get pumped into Jango there. Oh, look at those damage tokens.
I like it.
So Chris is going to put an armor plating for free. It's just a break-even thing. So Chewie's Blaster does come down onto 3PO.
I'll do the damage.
Taking the damage so we can roll it in. Then it comes up off the table. It's a party foul. And it looks like a 2 gun. So Chris is going to leave the 2 gun. He does have armor plate so he can block it. Jango coming in for a resource and a blank.
2 Jango.
Chris is going to elect to take the damage and not block it, so that's 4 of 11 right now. He's going to take the resource, go up to 2.
Pass.
Can't see that last card of Chris's hand. He's going to pitch a Desperate Measures here. Reroll into $. So one good way of countering the droids disrupt is to just roll money like Chris.
You battled back real well.
He's going to play a handheld, looks like, onto, let's see who he picks. Onto the Sentinel Messenger for 2. And
I don't know if you read the
that's going to be it, so pass. So after round 1, I only took 1 damage on 3PO and it was self-inflicted. Chris has 4 on Jango, but he does have a cannon down, so pretty good round 1 for both of us, I think. Chris would have been in a lot better shape had he not gotten disrupted. So it looks like we have a best defense, 2 fists in Chris's hand, an automated defense, and then his last card is a sudden impact. I have an Ezra Saber, easy pickings, fickle mercenaries, and a hidden motive. So pretty good kind of combo for my hand. Chris, if he can get the fist down, he's only 1 away. I mean, that's a game changer too.
Chop lot.
Not much there's in that droid deck that can respond to a fist coming down. So Chopper comes in, 2 melee, 1 resource, blank on the grappling arm. The 2 melee looks really good with 3PO resolution. Just to pump 3 more into Jango would be awesome.
I know.
So now Chris is kind of in a tough spot. Does he want to spend his resources to try and mitigate damage, or is he going to try to ramp up and get the fist? Looks like he's going to automate defense the 2. I think that's the right call. Can't be taking a ton of damage with Jango right now, so I'm going to feed, take a 3rd resource. Looks to set up some mitigation and also have something to play, like Ezra Saber.
Yeah, for sure.
Here comes Executioner.
Bumping that up even more so.
Yeah, it's stupid. Nice.
Look at him go.
Nice.
2 sticks.
Melee.
And Motive coming in for a blank.
So good.
Nasty.
So good.
Here comes Jango. Balk.
I just didn't get the right number of cards.
Nope. There you go. So Jango's going to roll into a resource and a 1 gun. And then it looks like jamming down an Ezra Saber onto 3PO for 2 resources. 3PO's loaded up with a gun and a lightsaber, just like the movies.
And I did. That's for measures and this card.
So he takes 1 resource, so he's back to kind of ramping towards that fist. Tough part is he's got to guarantee a resource, so like he has to roll into it. He doesn't have feed, so getting that 5th resource could be kind of troublesome for him, but he can get there for sure with his if he rolls anything like he did last round. Here comes R2. R2's going to roll a disrupt and shield.
Trigger.
Yep.
R2 trigger is going to flip.
I like both of those, but I also like the money too, though. We're gonna switch the shield over to the 2.
He's going to flip the shield, the R2 shield over to the 2 melee.
See if we can find here.
Here comes Sentinel Messenger. Rolls into a +3 and a resource, so that could be the resource he needs. And he's going to see a riot shield. I believe he can play that on Jango for a break even.
Oh, you listen
I
to
stole
Free.
the idea from it's like a British podcast. Yeah, the garbage will do. Yeah.
So yeah, Chris is talking about where he got this idea from. He was listening to the Garbage Will Do podcast where they were talking about this. And it's really good concept. I like it a lot.
We'll play this.
Yeah.
It has the potential, especially if he gets a fist down or a pulse cannon down, like me and Chris were talking about after the game. It could just piece together the droids, just take them one by one and really make quick work. So far, I've been pretty fortunate. He hasn't gotten either of those things down yet, so I really haven't taken a ton of damage.
2 disrupt.
So 2 disrupt, keeping him off the... In my head, I was kind of taking him off of the pulse cannon play. I didn't even think about the fist, but it ended up working out well, and I think Chris now, because of that, is going to abandon the fist plan. Now, I think that set him back a little too far for the 5 resources. So, in my head, I was trying to keep him off of the pulse cannon, but it worked out well, so I was able to prevent him from getting the fist down this round. So here comes 1. He's going to sudden impact the 3, so it's actually 2 to everybody, which is a really strong play against the droids, just taking out a quarter of their health each. Also a great tech card against Ewoks, too, just having everybody. So I'm going to jam down a Fickle. That's going to give Chris the ability to claim the battlefield if he so chooses. He's got a reroll as well. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he rolls into. So a blank and a resource. Here comes the Fickle. Fickle for a blank. Chris is going to shoot 3PO for 1. So 3PO's at 4 of 8. R2 and Chopper both have 2 damage. Chris has 4 damage on Jango plus the 2 blocker cards, 3 on the Executioner, and nothing on the Messenger. So Chris rolls into 2 melee. We were joking because he could have rolled that 1 in 16 chance or whatever it is. The math is terrible. 1 in 12 chance to get the 4 sticks that he needed to kill 3PO, and he rolled 1 of them. So 3PO's at 6. I'm going to start the round with 5 resources here. Chris is going to be back at 2 resources.
Possibly win. I needed that sudden impact for 6. Otherwise, I don't think I stand that good of a chance.
So this is definitely a tight matchup. So here comes a field medic.
Then that's kind of a problem.
Field medic.
Heal 2 off of 3PO, going to take him back down to 4. Gives it a little bit more breathing room than he
Yeah,
had.
buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Sitting on 4 resources, I've got a Pacify, an Easy Pickings, I believe a Seize the Day.
I'm just gonna buy him right back.
Yeah.
Chris has a Forsaken, a Bacta, Bounty Hunter Mask, so he's going to gain a resource. And now Jango's got 12 health. There comes the Fickle. Fickle goes to 3 for 1.
3 for a come on, let's go.
Like we don't.
Here's a Forsaken, but it's a Judge call because
That's 2 or
Forsaken
less.
says 2 or less.
You know, it's funny
Judge.
I did that against Jim last.
Let's try Chris.
He does that
No,
to
Oh,
he
me.
fast
called me.
Rodney.
He called me out.
Oh, really? Oh, he never does.
So yeah, Forsaken's always 2 or less. It's something to like kind of, I think everybody
So he'll try to get
can
rid of
remember it
money
now
and
just because it's been out for so long. But Forsaken is 2 or less. Sinister Peace is 2 or more. So always make sure that you're targeting the right dice with those.
Let's get lucky.
So Chris is going to roll in the Sentinel Messenger. Looks like he's going to go for a Hail Mary off the top. He rolls a 2 and a 1 resource. So 2 range and a 1 resource. He is not going to play the top card. I'm going to play Seize the Day for 1. So gain 2 actions. First action could be
First action. Rolling 3
First action is going to roll in 3PO. And then 3PO. So 2 blanks and a focus, but it's actually not as bad as it
Second
looks
action.
because the 3PO trigger allows me to resolve a die, increasing it by 1. So 2 focus there. To the 4 for 1 on Chewie's, the 1 gun on Ezra's, and then the second action is going to be to resolve range. So
8 against Jango, paying 2.
all going into Jango, paying 2. That's 8 damage. Got to order it out the correct way because Chris does have those blocker cards.
3.
So 3 with the Fickle. He's going to block 2 of it, take 1 to 6,
That'll do the last one.
and then 4 for 1.
Put 2 more.
Now, I definitely could have killed the Sentinel Messenger, and that's something that Chris and I are kind of discussing now. I could have just taken those 2 dice off the table,
Yeah.
but in my mind, I decided, Jango's the bigger threat just because of his dice, and I don't want him to get carried away with all the equipment and stuff. And so eventually I was going to have to chew through
But I would have to chip away at that.
Yeah.
Armored
I mean, I
Plate
guess you do
and
get
Ride
2
Shield
dice
anyway.
anyway.
And so I figured I might as well do it before C-3PO dies and I can do max damage. So I don't know if that's the right play. I could have just killed off Sentinel Messenger, but it was just in my mind, that was the correct decision.
Okay.
So here comes another grappling arm down on Chopper.
Traps, dude.
That's only when you play it.
Chopper's loaded up now.
supposed to be trapped
If Chris has any
Chopper's
traps in his
trapped.
deck, it's
Trap proof.
those are not going to be going off.
I'll remove the die.
These grappling arms are going to prevent that. So Chris has got Gauntlet Rockets.
2 damage to go.
No.
1 card.
Yes. Are those Gauntlet Rockets? That's what it looks like.
Or, I'm sorry. $1 left.
Oh, yeah.
So Chopper.
Could be wrong. I can't really tell what that is from here.
2. There's a good chance I'm not gonna.
So has Forsaken back to then I don't know his second card.
4 to go, right?
Feels kind of bad if that happens. So let's go Jango here.
Jango with a 1 melee and a resource. And easy pickings, the 2 resources. So we got 1 card left. I believe it's a Pacify.
Take 1.
3PO goes to 7. Here comes Chopper. Chopper with a blank, a discard, and a disrupt. So not what you want to see when you're 4 away from lethal on Jango. So 1 resource for a armored plate.
Or 2.
R2 rolls into
2 trigger.
disrupt and a resource. The R2 trigger is going to switch a Chopper discard to a 2 melee. Here comes Executioner. He rolls into a blank
2.
to Jango, blocked by the armored plating. Chris is going to pitch a back to reroll. Back to has like no value right now.
Disrupt twice.
So he rolls into the 2 for 1. I disrupted twice. He pitches Gauntlet Rockets. He rolls into a resource. Not bad. He definitely wants to kill 3PO though. Feed, take a resource. He's going to pitch one more time to reroll. And he rolls a resource. So it's not in the cards there. I did have Pacify anyway, just in case he was going to roll into lethal. And now my decision comes down to, do I want to take that resource on R2 or should I just claim here and take control of the battlefield? And I think I decide to claim in order to outpace Chris next round and get a kill on Jango before he can get anything down on him to protect him. So in this scenario, I want to get a kill on Jango. I want to be able to activate 3PO right away, so any of those action cheat cards is something I'm looking forward to, or looking for. So I see a dagger, salvaged arm, I believe an instigate, that's the
3PO.
An action cheat card. Here comes 3PO for the quick resolution. So I get a 3 for 1, or a 3 on Chewie, which when resolving is a 4 to kill Jango. Now I did something
What's that? It was a 3, yeah.
wrong there. I didn't let Chris kind of take a look at the dice. It was a 3, but do this thing, Chris does it too, where after you resolve a die, you put it back onto a blank, which is kind of a habit that I'm going to try to break, because if there is a question like board state, now Chris knows I'm not going to try and do anything like that, but just always keep in mind, let your opponent at least see the dice first so they know what's going on, and that's something that I need to do, and I apologize to Chris about it. So Executioner comes in for a 2 melee for free.
Pacify?
Yeah, I believe it's a pacifiable die. So Chris has a Mandalorian jetpack, hidden motive. He's going to put the Mandalorian jetpack on the Sentinel Messenger. I believe I'm going to bring in Fickle here.
Activate the Fickles. Actually, we'll take this resource.
So a little balk on the Fickle, just take the resource from 3PO. I'm not in any threat to lose the Fickles, so in case he's got an action cheat. Chris grows a resource, a shield, and a blank. So nothing threatening there, really. Doesn't want to play the thing off the top, so he's got a Forsaken, it looks like. Forsaken, a Dead or Alive, Bounty Hunter Mask. So he definitely wanted that Dead or Alive early, so he can just ramp up, and unfortunately didn't get it. So here comes a special, a 2 melee, and the 3 for 1, 3 indirect for 1 on the LS1 cannon. And I believe I'm going to jam down a Convergence here.
I'm going to Convergence.
And that's going to get rid of the LS1 cannon. So
yeah,
Convergence, card that's kind of seen play now with these 3-wide similar lists. Spot any number of characters that share a subtype to discard an upgrade, downgrade, or support with that cost or less from play. So LS1 costs 2. I have 3 droids, so I can discard the LS1 cannon. So that's a pretty big blow to Chris's damage potential. And yeah, like I said, we talked about it afterwards, and that was kind of one of the turning points in this game. So he's going to do the 2 melee. He's got a kill on 3PO, and he's going to do it. So 3PO got max value that round. He got to resolve all of those dice, plus he, just like in the movies, he was able to kill Jango Fett with the Chewie's blaster. So I know you guys remember that iconic scene from, I believe it's episode 2, where 3PO is in the Battle of Geonosis wielding Chewie's blaster. So here comes the Fickle. They roll into a 1 gun. Chris is going to Forsaken it, just take it off the table.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't want to see that 3 for 1 right now.
Power action chopper.
Power action, getting the salvaged arm down. So I saw that a little bit later than I usually like to when I'm running this deck, but at this point, I think I'm ahead.
One over here, sorry. Chopper.
So we can do 1 to chopper, take it to 3. So at this point, I thought I was ahead where I'd be able to get the salvaged arm on the table. So here comes Chop. Oof, a lot of blue. +2/+2 on the grappling arms, a discard, and a disrupt.
So R2 can only switch to the top left box now.
Because he's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, so clarification, once 3PO is dead, R2 does not get to autofocus to anything. He can only focus a die to the top leftmost corner of the
He's also a bounty hunter.
top left corner of the box. So still pretty good because you get an autofocus, but not as good,
What's this discard?
obviously, without 3PO. So feeding to get a resource. Here comes a dagger mortis. So that top left box is a 2 melee, so very strong for R2's ability.
Rolling R2.
Here comes R2. He rolls a 2 stick, a special on Ezra's saber, a disrupt.
Dagger to the first one.
So the R2 trigger was going to be to fix the dagger of mortis to put that into a 2 melee. So showing 8 damage right now, 9 if you include the salvaged arm. And then the special on Ezra's saber is an extra 2 plus a disrupt. So pretty strong roll for me. He's going to hit mode at the dagger and he's going to miss it.
6 kills it, right?
So normally the executioner has 8. With bounty hunter mask that was 9. So 6 resolved into the executioner to take him off the table. Chris does have the Mandalorian special. It's the only, or the jetpack special. It's the only form of mitigation he has right now. So I'm gonna take a resource from the dagger. I don't know what my last card is. I haven't been paying attention for whatever reason. I didn't want to pitch it. So he's gonna jetpack, and I'm gonna roll a 2 on Ezra's saber. So he gets to do 2 damage to somebody. He's gonna put it on chopper, and then I get to resolve the 2.
Yeah.
So same thing for me pretty much because I had a special showing. He just got 2 extra damage, so it was pretty good. Now there's a Fickle. That was the last card. That's why I didn't want to pitch it. So Fickle comes in and rolls a disrupt. I can't do anything after that. So on to the next round. Chris is going to start out with some resources. He's got 6 health left. I've got 3 on Chopper, 6 on R2. So a total of 9. Board state looking pretty good. Taking 2 resources here. Chris has an LS1 cannon. Let's see if we can shuffle through it again. Looks like another dead or alive. An automated defense. An executioner's axe. So he's going to throw down the cannon again, trying to get as much damage as possible out there.
Overwrite.
So overwrite the grappling arm with a ride shield that'll protect Chopper a little bit, blocking 2 damage. So one of the things that Chopper is just so busted is he gets to play those cards for free. And then if he had 2 resources, so he could overwrite and then power action, and I can get that grappling arm back if he only had 3 upgrade or 2 upgrades on him. So there goes a Droid's Day Out. There goes a Seize the Day. So pretty good probe by Chris there. I've got a rocket booster and an automated defense. 2 disrupt. He's going to roll in the messenger. He rolls a blank, a 1 disrupt, and another jetpack special. He's not going to play the top card. Stole my Fickle. Other Fickle coming in with a blank.
Let's do this.
It's another +3. I'm going to do 3 to R2, get max value there. So I agree with that. He couldn't have killed Chopper with it. So both guys have now 5 damage on them, so 3 health each. Chopper has the Riot Shield, so he can block a little bit more. So R2 coming in, it's a 2 on the Dagger of Mortis, a 2 on R2, a resource and a shield. So the R2 trigger is going to switch R2 to the 1. So that's 7 damage. That is lethal right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't math. That's 5 damage. That's not lethal. So Chris looking to threaten something on somebody. He rolls a 2-gun and a blank.
Do the 5.
So we'll do the 5.
Let's go 2.
So it's taking him to 7 of 8 now.
7 of 8.
7 of 8.
Chris is going to do 2 to R2, taking him to 7 of 8.
Chop.
Chopper's going to roll in for a 1 melee on one of those grappling arms, and that's good game. So that's a good game. It was really close. He was only 4 health away from wiping out the team, and we had a discussion afterwards. The disrupt early kind of put him back a little bit, but if he were to get down a fist or even a pulse cannon, it's a way different game. Yeah, convergence helps a little bit and with the pulse cannon, but if he can burst down a droid earlier than he did, this deck is just going to struggle. So really like the deck. That was his first time piloting it for 2 and 1, so it's really good. He's going to make some tweaks, I'm sure, and put his little spin on it and make it a better deck. But great game, Chris. Thank you guys for watching. If you noticed anything or have any comments about anything or questions about anything that went down this game, let us know. Just leave a message or something in the comments. But as always, Brothers Dimm, out.